Hey guys, this is what many people are facing right now, and they're facing an issue about expressing themselves to people. Do you know why? Because inside they may feel some guilt about their life, they may feel some shame about who they are. So, because they feel this guilt and shame, they don't want to express themselves to other people or even to socialize with other people because they'll open up this truth about life. And if people find out about their guilt and shame, that somehow their ego and who they are is going to diminish, and that they will feel rejection, that they will feel guilt and shame, and that somehow they are going to really die in some kind of way. You have to realize that you have to express yourself in every single kind of way possible with people. But with that said, you need to respect people, okay? And you also need to be able to talk words to people. So you have to realize you have to build relationships with people, okay? And now nobody's coming to save you, okay? Nobody's going to magically appear in your life, but you have to do something about it. You have to do something about your life, okay? So you have to realize there is someone in the world out there who is on a disability support pension, okay? They're smoking vapes and they're drinking black tea, for example. And they're not working 9 to 5. And somehow, if someone finds out about this, in terms of their status, then somehow the world will come crashing down because somehow this person is feeling like he can do better, but somehow he's failing. He's failing in his habits. You understand? He wants to quit the vapes, he wants to quit black tea, but somehow he's struggling to get rid of it because he feels fatigued with the black tea, and then he feels the habits of smoking the vape, even though he's using nicotine patches. But somehow it's like the end of the world if people find out about him. You understand? So you have to realize that sometimes a person needs a psychologist to really dig deep into this person, okay? To really figure out what is bugging them, what is bugging you right now, okay? You have to really dig deep. But then this person writes a lot of information around life. He's a writer and writes a lot of information. But somehow, no matter how many problems he solves in his life, there's always more problems to solve. And he always has to come up with more solutions and more solutions and more solutions. And it's like never ending. And at the same time, he wants to find a girlfriend, he wants to have kids, he wants to get married, he wants to have friends at his wedding, he wants to have all this kind of stuff that Jesus Christ has, okay? But somehow, he doesn't feel that he's living up to his best standard, you understand? So he wants to do better. He wants to somehow just be enlightened, just be happy with where he's currently at in life. So my remark to this person is to just stay positive, make sure that you're expressing yourself, make sure that you're going into silence, going deep inside of yourself for the answers, making sure that you're just nice to people around you, that you're not trying to cause violence, that you're trying to be a good person. And you have to realize that sometimes bad things happen to good people. You understand? Even though you're good, people still don't want to be around you. Even though you have all this love inside of you, they still don't want to be around you. You understand? And it's like, if he goes and socializes with a woman, someone might hit him because they're competition with him to get the woman. And then he might feel afraid to fight back. You understand? Because he doesn't want to hurt anybody. You understand? He wants to be a good individual. And then he feels like crying sometimes because his life is, let's say, in the position that it is. And he wishes his life to be better. He wants his life to be better. He wished he had women around in his life, for example, other than his parents, for example, other than his mum. And he wants to go somewhere with his life. He wants to plan his life. He wants to write all day long. But because he writes all day long, he finds time for nothing else, because all he does is write all day long. And when he's writing, when he's in the process of writing, he's very happy. He's very happy in the process of writing. But then he sees, for example, if a woman came up to him in his life and really found out about him, that she would probably reject him, because he's not as rich as other guys are. He doesn't have a good looking body as much as other people do. You understand? Like, he's got something like God in his life, but he wishes to do more. You understand? He wishes to be a great communicator, where he can communicate to people, where he can inspire people, where he can inspire himself, where he wants to just do better, you know? He wants to live this life. He wants to live the best life possible. And it's just like every single day, you just have to grow up. You have to grow up. You have to get working. You have to get into making money. You understand? Do good things with the money. You understand? Don't try to do things illegally. Try to go according to the law. Try to be a good servant. Try to give a service of some kind. And recently he has not been posting on social media as much, because somehow he feels that people are not watching him, and that somehow it's not his content that's bad. His content's not bad. It's just that people really don't care about him. And when they do care, there's only a little amount of people that do care about him. And he's just trying to salvage his way through life. He's trying to find his way through life. He's trying to do something for himself. And he hasn't been doing his music production recently. You understand? And he's like trying to post up his content online here and there. But somehow it's like he lost faith in himself to some regard, although he's not going backwards. He's not going backwards. He's moving forwards. And he's not going to go back to cigarettes. He's not going to go back to coffee. But he's moving forward in his life. And it's like, now he doesn't want to travel around Australia. And he wants to be with his dad. He wants to live with his dad. You know, so he wants to live with his dad because he understands the world out there. He's travelled around Australia. He's travelled around Europe. He's seen some kind of life that people are living. And he always says, there's no better place than home. There's no better place to be than at home. And you have to realize, he likes his home. He likes his new home. He lives in a house commission home, which is owned by the government. And he gives a certain amount of rent every single fortnight. But he's been paying rents since he was 26. And you have to realize that he stepped up in a way. In a way, he stepped up into adulthood. But he just wished that he could run again. He wishes that he could quit the vape again and not go back. He wishes that he could run like horses run in the wind. He wants to be strong. He wants to be very enthusiastic. He wants to be happy around people. He wants to be able to express himself to people and be able to say anything he wants, and he doesn't want people to get offended about what he said. So he wants to speak in a way that people will always love him and that people will always want to be with him. You understand? So he has to speak in a certain type of way to people, to respect them, but also not to be afraid to speak words, but just to speak in a way that's nice and that's adding value to the person. And there's so much work to do and stuff like that in his life that he wants to make it into a better life. He wants to have a greater dream. He wants to have better goals. He wants to achieve a sense of self-worth that he can have. But inside of him, he's got joy. He's got joy inside of him, and he just needs to stick to that joy. Because that joy is with him right now. And he just needs to believe. He needs to believe that there is a better world. That finally, sometime in life, he's going to die. And he's going to see Jesus Christ very soon. And everything he done in life will be seen by eternity, by everybody. And it will be acknowledged by God. Because this person wants acknowledgement. He wants to feel respected. He wants to have friends. He wants to have a relationship with a woman. He wants to be able to buy a diamond ring for a woman and be able to provide for his family. You understand? Because somehow right now he maybe looks like a caveman. You know, he looks like a caveman that's always in his house. He's always riding. He's always doing things with his dad. You understand? But he's not doing anything else. But he's doing so much more. So he just needs to realize that what he's trying to do will get him to the next stage of life. He needs to believe in himself that he can have what he wants. That he can step up on the stage and electrify the crowd. That he can somehow make it into a better world. That he can have the life that Grant Cardone has. That he can have the life that Armin van Buuren has. He just needs to create it for himself. He needs to expand his finances. He needs to expand his world. He needs to be talking to people. He needs to be working just like everyone else. And he needs to be doing things for himself every single day. So with that said, please believe in yourself. Please be someone who is inspirational, who tries to help the world, who tries to get to a better stage in life, who tries to help everyone around them. Because people will always remember how you made them feel. You understand? You have to realize that if someone pushes away from you and doesn't want to speak to you ever again, then don't chase those people. You understand? Those people who are meant to be in your life will be in your life. Don't chase women, don't chase men. Just work on yourself. Work on yourself every single day. Try to become a better person. Try to increase your vitality. Try to stay humble. You're not above anybody else. You're not below anybody else. You're equal to everyone. Okay? God doesn't love them more because they've done more than you. God loves you the way He loves the baby that's born today. We are all equal. We are all in this together. We need to stay strong as humanity, and we need to do things for each other. You understand? Sometimes we have to walk miles for somebody so that they will talk to us. You understand? But if that person no longer wants to talk to you, then you go walk miles for somebody else. You understand? You have to realize that people can reject you just like they rejected Jesus Christ. But that doesn't define you. It doesn't define you when they reject you. What defines you is what you say about yourself. You understand? What God says about you is what defines you. So you have to realize that you have to let go. You have to let God do the work for you. Because you have to realize he feels, for example, that there are things out of his reach, that there are things in the world that's beyond his control, that all he can control is himself, that he's unable to control others because he doesn't want to control others, but he wants to control himself, and he wants to get to the point where he can be satisfied with who he is. You understand? He wants to get to that stage of his higher self in life where he can say, now, at this point in time, now I feel that I'm doing much better in the world than before.